Okay, let's talk about my regrets as an addict and maybe some goals to help kind of make some of that regret go away. But first and foremost, my biggest regrets are anything and everything I've ever done to hurt my family because I really did a lot of like yelling and screaming at them for, you know, no reason, for no good reason, probably just because they were trying to give me a reality check. And we're tired of dealing with my crap. And, you get a really bad attitude when you're on drugs. And so I did a lot of like yelling and fighting with my family. That was completely unnecessary. Um, Also, I missed a lot of time with them, important time, because we're a very close family and we like to do a lot of things together. And, when you're busy out getting drugs, you don't have as much time for family. And so I missed a lot of good times with them. Or even when I was there, I wasn't completely there because I was either high or I was sick or I was having to sneak off and go get high or I was on my phone looking for the next high or I was arguing with my boyfriend, which leads me into another regret of not of arguing with my boyfriend a lot in front of my family and in front of my kid because I would try to ignore him and not let his crap bother me. But when you're with a narcissist and an abuser, it's impossible for them not to fight. It's like, even if you don't give them a reaction, it just makes them more mad and they keep going and they keep going and they keep going until they finally get a reaction out of you. And then once he would have me so fired up and angry and mad and arguing with him, then he would stop talking to me and then make me be the one calling and texting and going off on him because I'd be so mad. But those things definitely really hurt me because I love my family more than anything except God because God gave me them and gave me the life I have with them. So, but my family is very important to me and it really hurts me all the time that I missed so much time with them. Not to mention all the damage and which I'm not the one that has completely kind of let our house go, but I was a start of it by throwing parties a lot and then also my taking off and my drug addiction led to, just a lot of family kind of, depression or giving up or just, they were too busy dealing with my stuff to really worry about the house. And I, had a lot of parties here and I never helped do anything, which is another thing I regret. I never helped with anything. It always like my family always helps me with everything and would watch my kid and stuff and I just never really helped with anything, never really did anything. And so that kind of really hurts me still, which is why now I'm trying to be so useful. I would like to get my family's house fixed up and cleaned up and, clean up all the mess that I made. And because our house is really old, we have lived here for like over 25 years. Yeah, over 25 years. Probably, I think like 26 or 27 years. But, so we've lived out here for a long time and not a lot out here has been changed or remodeled. And now we don't really have the money to do much of that. So that is one of my goals is trying to get our house fixed up. But another one of my regrets is all the time that I wasted and all the times I've had to restart my life because I used to know a lot of people, have a lot of good connections, have a lot of good friends. I used to travel. My life was so exciting before I just destroyed it so many times. And I probably could have had an opportunity to actually like be somebody or do something. Like, I'm not saying be somebody like, major important, but I'm saying like I would be not with my life in shambles. I wanted, for a long time, I really wanted to go be a Playboy bunny. And even though I don't look right now, because, I'm like 32 and been through a drug addiction and have major health issues, so I don't look near like what I used to, but I used to be so pretty. I used to have weight on me. I had really big boobs, like I used to look really good. And I always had so many confidence issues, and I was so self conscious and thought I was like not very pretty. And now that I look back, I would give so much to look like that again. Because I probably could have been a model if I tried hard enough. I at least could have started a YouTube channel because I lived down in Florida. I went on a cruise. I did a lot of traveling on my own. I just had a really exciting life before I really messed it up and got stuck in this really boring area with no money. So, like, knowing that I could have had a YouTube channel, I could have been a Playboy bunny, which, not saying like none of this was for sure, but it could have happened. I also had, when I was dancing, I had an audition down at Club 11 in Miami, and they acted like they liked what they seen, but I was so high because I'd met some people. I wasn't really using at that time, but I'd met some people, and they convinced me to come party with them. And so I did, thinking it would just be like, a little bit of partying, and then I would get right back to what I was doing. And it really just kind of went to crap, and I ended up showing up high, and I completely blew my audition, hoping that they wouldn't notice, but they definitely did. And I'm lucky I didn't die that night, because I was in Miami by myself, and I was so high I couldn't hardly hold my head up. And I still don't know how I got back to my hotel room. I feel like I walked. I don't know how I managed that, because I took an Uber to the club. But I don't remember taking an Uber back. So, and then I lost my ID, and that whole trip just went to crap. But that's another time that I could have been something. I used to live down in Sarasota, and I had some really rich friends. I can think of so many ways that I could have made money and been more than what I am now. And so that really hurts, knowing that I've completely destroyed my life to the point where I can't even hardly fix it now. But at one time, I probably could have had the world if I really just would have gotten my head out of my ass and really been on that hustle. But, I mean, hustling was a thing back then, but it was a little bit different than it is now. Not as many people knew about YouTube, and, like, a lot of people were really just into partying and going to clubs, and that was kind of my thing. I wasn't thinking too hard in the future. I was just like, I'm in my 20s, I'm going to party, I'm going to live it up. And then I had my daughter at almost 22, and I really wish that I would have had my shit together before I had her, because I wanted to give her the world, which is another regret. I really wanted so bad to, like, make her, I wanted to give her everything, because she was my only one, and I'd been such a crappy mom, in my opinion, and I wanted to give her everything. I wanted to buy her her own bounce house, and her own pool and swing set, and I wanted to, like, make it huge. Because we got a really big yard, so I wanted to fill it all with stuff for her. But I got too distracted getting high with my boyfriend and being with a narcissist, and I never got a chance to really do that. And now it hurts, because I see all this really cool stuff, all these bounce houses and all these really cool swings and outdoor climbing things, and I just wish that I could have that for her. And I wish that we could travel more, and I wish I had more money, and I wish I could be more of a help to my family. I wish I could be, I just wish that I could be more than just, I feel like a lump just sitting here. I feel like I'm kind of useless now. I feel like I've tried to do so much and it's failed. I've tried to do direct sales. I've tried to make my own cosmetics. I've tried to sell pallet stuff. I've tried to resell all kinds of things. I've tried to be an electrician. I've helped get houses ready to be fixed up. I've babysat. I was a dancer. I was a shot girl. I've done so much of everything trying to make money. But this is just not a good area, and I wish that I would have had my stuff together enough to move to a different area. Like, But it's really hard because my family's in this area and I don't want to be separate from my family. I don't want to have my daughter separate from my family. But I really wish I just lived in a better area. I wish that I had the money to live here, but maybe have a different place somewhere else that I could get away to. And, you know, 'cause I feel like I could really film some good content, but I don't have an aesthetic house. I'm not rich. I don't have the money for plastic surgery and lip filler. I've got health problems. I just don't. My life is like in shambles, and I don't know what to film other than my life being in shambles. When I feel like I could have had all this crazy cool content like already, and then had the money to provide more cool content because now I would have the money to support the videos and things like that and fix up my house and do all these things. But I've just messed up my life so hard. So between how bad I've messed up my life and everything I've done to my family, those are really my biggest regrets. And I guess my goals as an addict are trying to repay my family for everything that they've done to me, trying to be a better person and be happier and treat people better. I didn't really try to treat people like crap before. I've always tried to like be a good person and have morals, but when your mind is really fogged up with drugs, sometimes that can be really challenging. So I just really want to be a good person. I want to be more than just like a lump just sitting here mooching off of everybody. And, you know, I want my own place. I want like an aesthetic, pretty place I can film content in. I wish that I could travel. I wish I could give my daughter more. I wish that I could fix up my family's house. I wish for so many things that I probably could have had already if it wasn't for me being on drugs. And that really, really sucks. So I guess that's all I have for now. But that's what it's like being an addict and messing up your life multiple times in a row. Sorry, I have a brain mess and I think it makes my talking funny anymore. Especially because I also can't hardly breathe. When I get talking like this a lot, it gets hard to breathe. So, yeah, I also wish I didn't have all these health problems. If it wasn't for my using, I probably would not have all these health problems. Maybe I could have got the money for braces. Maybe by now, you know, I feel like I could be so much farther. And that really sucks. I just really want to be more of a use to my family and be able to actually make content and just have the money to do fun stuff and provide for my daughter and take her to do stuff and show her traveling. And, you know, it just really sucks. But that's all I got.